So therefore, we all go through a process. Okay, so to understand what process is, I need to give you the definition of process, which means that it is a series of actions or even a number of steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So, if you have no beginning, then you can have no ending or where you're going or what you're trying to complete. There has got to be a process. There were so many people in the Bible that went through a process. Even the children of Israel went through a process. So what make us think that we're not going to have to go through a process? We too will have to go through a process. So in going through that process, what that process is doing is preparing us to where we have to go for the kingdom of God. So I need you to understand what preparation is. Preparation is the action and process of making something or someone ready for operation. You are putting them or it together. You are preparing them for a purpose for such a time as God has led for them to come into. That will help compensate where they are going. All of us have gone through a process. All of us will continue to go through a process, no matter how high ranked you get or how high level you go in ministry for the kingdom of God. There is going to be a process to get you prepared for that preparation of that next level of where you've got to go. So there has got to be a beginning before there is an ending, because without a beginning, you can have no ending. Because if you don't have a beginning, how can you share how can you share what you've gone through if you don't even have a beginning? If there's no beginning, then you have no preparation. And that's the problem. A lot of people, they want to just jump into things before they're prepared. They want to jump into things before they've been processed. And a lot of people get out there and they step out before their time because they don't want to be taught. They don't want to learn. They don't want to listen because they think that everybody comes to where they are like that. It doesn't happen like that. There is going to be a process of preparation to get you to the next level of your sanctification and the destination and the salvation from the grace that he have given you to get to where you got to go. So you have got to go through the process. See, you can't just step out there in the deep water if you don't know how to swim. You can't step out there if you've never been processed and you've never been taught how to handle yourself even in the shallow water. So if you can't compensate where you are now in the shallow, how are you going to make it out there in the deep? Because you're going to get out there without a lifeline, no support to bring you back in, and you're going to drown. Why? Because you're going to think you already got it. You're going to think that you have grown to the place where you need to be, but you've only sat for a couple of weeks. How can you be processed? How are you now prepared? You cannot be prepared to go to the next level of where God got for you to go. And the thing about that is, you need to understand why you have to go through the process. The process is where God is preparing you. He's preparing you right there, where you're in your wilderness place, whether you're in your lonely isolation place, he is preparing you. He is preparing you for the next level of ministry. You got to be alone sometimes in order to hear him speak. And it's nothing wrong with being in that desolation place. What it does is It builds your character. It teaches you how to have faith. And it shows you how to handle yourself when you're in a situation when there's no one around. And it teaches you how to stand boldly before those people that you may come in contact with that may challenge the very walk and the calling that you stand in. You need to know why you had to go through the process of that preparation. See, some people don't like to be alone because you don't like that quiet time. The quiet time is the best time. See, if you have never been through anything, you can't tell anybody anything. If you've never walked in someone else's lifestyle they're in, how can you minister to them to really tell them about it? So if he has prepared you to go and get those people out of the same place you came, and you have not been processed yet, but you want to just go because you think you're ready, you're going to die out there. You're not going to survive out there because you're not prepared.